Satanic Mukbang. I am your host, the Fat Mantis. We're gonna get into this mukbangery, and it's gonna be gross. You're gonna be real gross now. But I promise you, you will learn something. You will learn a little bit of who I am. You will learn who you yourself are. You will learn the alphabet. But before we get into this, if you could like, share, and subscribe, the Fat Mantis would greatly appreciate that. It's the only way we can keep this fun party going, and am I right, party people? Who's ready to get mukbang-tastic? I think you are. If you just give me a moment, I'm going to have to send out my links. I hope you're all doing good right now. I hope you're all living that dream. That disgusting, satanic dream. The devil, the devil, the devil, the devil. The devil. Yes, he's here with us. And he likes the sound of me eating pizza. Let's see what we have going on here. Anyone in chat? Gray Winthrop is here, and so is Laney. You can hardly hear, still at work, but happy you made it. I'm happy you're here too. Obviously, you can hardly hear because it's an ASMR. Which is like, what's up? So I'm gonna be eating. Oh, look at these noodles, right? Oh, I got these noodles. These Thai noodles right here. Oh my god. So they're peanut noodles. Oh, I can feel the allergies happen to me right now. Satan is here for you. He's coming to steal your soul. If you've been watching the news, you realize it is the end of days. Satan is the true king of the land. Give up your sovereignty to the devil himself, and then you will be free to eat more pizza. So good this is. Baby Yoda has never eaten so good. Oh yeah. This is what a meal is. I'm doing so good. later, my friend. I'm going to be in an iodine-formed coma. Pray for me. This is the Mantis' idea of Sunday Fun Day. Talking about Satan, the devil worship, blood flowing from the eyes of the non-believers, and pizza. Oh, this is good. Satan knows what's up. And what he also knows are noodles. Yes, these noodles are made out of the intestines of the innocent. Mm. Mm. This is too good. A little chip break. Mm. Oh yeah, more. These are Lay's limon flavored chips. Right before Satan disembowels a child, this is what he eats. That was my sip of water. That's like how I drink water in a satanic way. In a way that only Satan would approve of. So we are in the know. While I do this mukbang, we're going to go over the satanic statements. These are things that devil worshippers want you to know about. Satan represents indulgence instead of abstinence. Satan represents vital existence instead of spiritual pipe dreams. Satan represents undefiled wisdom instead of hypocritical self-deceit. Satan represents kindness to those who deserve it instead of love wasted on ingrates. I am you want. This is pizza. With sandwich. I have some chips ready. Satan represents vengeance instead of turning the other cheek. Yes. Satan represents responsibility to the responsible instead of concern for psychic vampires. Pardon me. Let's see what a little flavor from Thailand has to say. Satan represents man as just another animal, sometimes better, more often worse than those that walk on all fours who, because of his divine spiritual and intellectual development, has become the most vicious animal of them all. Yes, Satan. So tonight I'm having pizza. 3 different kinds of pizza. Some Thai noodles. And a bag of chips. A big bag of chips. I'm gonna hurl after this. Dream Duck. Oh my god, Dream Duck is here. Dream Duck, you've never been to one of these. It's when I say evil things while I eat on the mic. I used to do that on Spoon all the time. Like, Don't go to sleep tonight. There's a demon hiding under your bed. And they're gonna cut you from your jugular to your stomach. The next time you go to the circus, one of the clowns is going to stalk you. He's going to follow you home and do away with your family before he gets to you. And the biggest crime will be he's going to chain you up and force him to perform his clown acts. Juggling, and he'll have a unicycle, and the whole thing will be messed up. Oh, you're okay. No clowns tonight. Then let's talk about serial killers. Statistically, you are probably currently friends with a serial killer. That goes for everyone in this chat. You probably have drinks or hang out with a serial killer every day. Maybe a classmate, maybe a co-worker, maybe your closest friends. And what happens when this serial killer runs out of good targets? One drunk night, they might think you'll make a good one. What's your favorite true crime case? What's your favorite case right now? Sentenced to life for beheading. Let's hear the facts of this case, shall we? Let's go over it real quick. This one's for you, Dream Duck. Unemployed son mooched off parents. He killed and dismembered. Claimed to be a college student who got job at SpaceX, says prosecutor. You always have to watch out for the mooches. There always be headers. In early 2021, Wisconsin man Chandler Chaz Michael Alderson, 23, appeared to be a pretty impressive guy according to opening statements in his murder trial. He told his family he was a college student and about to graduate. He worked at an insurance company. He helped police as a scuba diver for a rescue team. I mean, come on. That's clearly a lie. If anyone ever tells you they're a scuba diver for a rescue team, it is a lie. And he just got hired to work at SpaceX. Turned out to be an elaborate web of lies. He found out he was not even going to school. The scoundrel. His parents didn't check to see if he was going to school. What's up with that? check everyone's backgrounds when they say anything. If somebody says they live in a certain place, I double check. I got internet investigators coming after them. But he beheaded his parents. That's nuts, man. I could totally see a strangling. Sorry. I could totally see strangling them, but to behead someone, that's another world. That is some gangsta stuff right there. I see everyone on all the articles are focusing on all the lies that he told. But I think like cutting off your parents' head is like what I'd be focusing on, right? That and he tore apart their legs and cut up their arms and stuff. I mean, the real question is, how do you know you could do that? Like, usually people aren't killers until the day they become a killer. But, like, when it's time to butcher a body, like, how could you do that? Like, did he think about it already? Has he already put thought to, like, what if one day I have to cut someone up? With a saw, they found it, damn it. So Dream Duck likes the bloody ones. I'm eating a sausage, onions, and peppers pizza right now. Let's see what's going on. So Dream Duck, if you were ever to snap, you'd be like an axe killer. Top 25 bloodiest and most disgusting massacres in the United States history. Let's go down the list, shall we? Oh, these are massacres. These are like military or cops. I want murder. The 10 most gruesome murders the world will never forget. Let's read this one. Thank you for stopping in, Dream Duck. It was my pleasure. Don't cut anybody up. The murder of Junko Furuta. Let's look it up. Junko Furuta was a Japanese high school student who was abducted raped, tortured, and murdered in the late 1980s. Her murder case was called the Concrete Encased High School Girl Murder Case. That's a horrible name. They could have come up with a better name than that. Too many words. Due to her body being discovered in a concrete drum, the abuse was mainly perpetuated by 4 teenage boys: Hiroshi Miyana, Joe Ukura, Shinji Minato, Yasushi Wananabe, over a period of 40 days from November 25th to January 4th. The crime has been described as the worst case of juvenile delinquency in post-war Japan. Perpetrators' sentences range from juvenile detention to 20 years in prison. Those guys should have all been hung from the rafters, in my opinion. Those sons of bitches. For 44 days. Yeah, there's got to be a better way to get rid of a body than cut it up. It's just so messy and traumatizing. Like, I feel like the cutting up the body would be more traumatizing than actually killing them, right? I'd keep it clean and make sure there isn't a lot of blood, because, like, blood leaves all this evidence and DNA, and it stains really, really bad, you know? On November 25th, Miyano and Miyanto wandered across Misato with the intention of robbing and raping local women. At 8:30 p.m., they spotted Furuta riding her bike home after she had finished a shift at her job. Poor girl had to work the day she's gonna die. That's horrible. Under Miyana's orders, Minato kicked Maruto off the bike and fled the scene. Miyana, under the pretense of witnessing the attack, by coincidence approached Furuta and offered to walk her home safely. Furuta, accepting this offer, was unaware that Miyana was leading her to a nearby warehouse where he lied about having Yakuza connections. He raped her in the warehouse and again in a nearby hotel, threatening to kill her from the hotel. Miyana called Miyato and his other friends. They bragged to them, and then they bragged to their friends about the rape. Okuro reportedly asked Miyano to keep her in captivity in order to allow numerous people to sexually assault her. The group had a history of gang rape and had recently kidnapped and raped another girl, whom they released afterwards. Jesus Christ, these guys should absolutely be executed. This story right here is why I believe in the death penalty. There are just some people we can't help. Lady said, I'm so sad I missed this. Don't worry, the recording will be there. On the 27th, her parents contacted the local police about her disappearance. To discourage further investigation, the kidnappers forced her to call her mother 3 times to convince her that she had run away, but was safe in staying with friends. This story is so messed up. Thank you, Sea Witch, for putting me on. But I think I'm going to have nightmares after hearing this. Oh, this is just a shorty after all. I am almost done with my food. But Satan is proud of all of you for joining the Satanic Mukbang. It's crazy that people could be so cruel. It's crazy that those people exist in the real world. That case was pretty satanic, Sea Witch. I'm proud of myself that I'm almost finished with this food. It seemed so impossible, the amount of food I've made. Let's see what the worst murders are. Top 10 scariest murders you should know about. The worst woman on earth. In 1890s, there was the nickname given to Lizzie Ladden, New York's first known female serial killer. She was also the first woman to ever be sentenced to death by electric chair, although that sentence was never carried out. Lizzie emigrated to the States as a child, and she got older, showed a propensity to experience what would later be called spells of insanity. Holliday committed at least 4 murders, including 2 women she was old friends with, and her 6th husband, who she stabbed, shot, and mutilated. That's her 6th husband. Of the previous 5, she's suspected of killing possibly 2 of them and attempted to kill at least another one of them through poisoning with arsenic. She also had a love of burning things. In 1888, she burned down the saloon of the 2 female old friends whom she later murdered. She also burned both the barn and house of her 6th husband. Apprehended and sentenced to death by electric chair, the cover of New York went on to commute her sentence and instead institutionalized her for being mentally insane. I'm sorry to get political, but once again, I am against that kind of bullshit. Someone that crazy, there is no more helping them. They can shove off, for all I care. The next case we're going to have is the boy in the box. This already sounds twisted. I'm a little scared. I'm just hearing. Babu said I thought I could do this, but I can't. I'm sorry, public. It's not for everyone. These noises, right? I'll tell you what's really satanic. When I started to get in the mood, I listened to other people's mukbangs. And they were so vile and they were so disgusting. I had to turn them off because I was like, I don't even enjoy this content. Why am I making it? And then I realized I like torturing you all. I like putting you all through to like the satanic vice that is a mukbang. But I have been taking breaks between my work, my chomping to talk about murder. And so we're going to talk about the boy in the box right now for just a hot second. The Boy in the Box. This is a 60-year-old murder mystery of the Boy in the Box, a case that remains unsolved until today. It started on a chilly day on February 1957 on a roadside highway just outside of Philadelphia. A muskrat hunter, checking his traps, stumbled upon a cardboard box lying in the woods. In the box, he found the dead body of a young boy, aged between 3 to 7 years old, malnourished and covered with scars, stripped naked but wrapped tightly in a blanket and mutilated. But he kept quiet to keep his own illegal traps away from the police. And so for days, until a fearless soul found him, the boy's body lay cold and rotting alone in the woods. The police fingerprints the boy in hopes of finding a match, but nothing came up. Hundreds of thousands of flyers were sent out to the surrounding areas, begging for information about the unidentified boy, but no one came forward. The investigator tried everything they could. They analyzed the evidence from crime scene, from the cardboard box to the blanket he was wrapped in. Every clue they followed through just led to a new dead end. To this day, more than 60 years later, one of America's most famous murder cases remains unsolved. Nobody knows who the child was, who his parents were, or how he ended up naked and mutilated in a box in the woods. WTV, welcome in. Philadelphia. Philadelphia is filled with many evils, my friends. Philadelphia is one of the most satanic places in all the world. It's spooky, yes. Spooky. Philadelphia invented ball game riots, binge drinking, Irishness, and Philly cheesesteak. So it's a pretty evil place. Like, the devil is strong there. Pubs is always such a critic. I am dying. This is Dark Planet with the Fat Mantis. The devil is here. People are getting murdered. Read the room, public. Read the room. You know it, Rebuke. It's a satanic mukbang ASMR. I take it you satanic followers want to hear another bloody case. The case of the Poppin sisters. Christine and Leah Papin were two French sisters and live-in maids in 1933. After working for and living with the Lancelin family for 7 years, they murdered Madame Lasselin and her daughters, Genevieve. Both were beaten and stabbed to the point where their bodies were practically unrecognizable. Their eyes were also gouged out. The police discovered the Papin sisters in their room, naked in bed together with the murder weapons. That wasn't so bad. I feel like I've seen way worse murders. Hello, Hold Up TV. I can't tell what's pissing public off, so I guess I'll just continue to mukbang it. How is everyone tonight? Are the satanic energies out tonight? Haunting you. Hunting you. There's a lot of Satan out there tonight, man. There's motherfuckers everywhere. Oh, you guys want to hear about the Japanese cannibal? The famous Japanese cannibal, Isai Sagawa, is notorious in his country. He grew up in a wealthy family, but always had the urge for human flesh. At 23, Sagawa was arrested for attempted rape, according to Cultural Crossfire. He entered the apartment of a tall German woman living in Tokyo and attacked her. Police, however, didn't realize that he was actually attempting to eat her, even though he bit off a piece of her flesh. He was obsessed with the taller Western women. He befriended a classmate, a 25-year-old Dutch woman named Renee Hartbeest. The friendship proved deadly for Hartbeest as one night in 1981, Sagawa invited her over under the guise of working on a poetry assignment, but ended up shooting her in the neck and eating various parts of her body over a 2-day span. He attempted to dump the leftovers of her body in a lake nearby, but was caught in the middle of the act. He was held in police custody for 2 years before being deemed legally insane and deported back to Japan. Once in Japan, he was declared sane by psychologists and signed himself out of a mental institution where he was being held. He currently lives as a free man in Japan. Pubs, that's what should bother you. The end of that story is the thing that should not be bothering you. He went free. This is the problem. Bob says he doesn't like thighs. Miss Hippie, welcome to the stream. Miss Hippie, what's up? Welcome to Satanic Mukbang. I'm almost out of food for you to hear. I'm actually so bloated right now, and my sodium level in my bloodstream is so high I'm about to have a stroke. But you know what? It was worth it to bring you guys these disgusting sounds of mukbanging. It was free because this crime was in Germany. I am just in the belief that we should stop this not guilty on reason of insanity, and we should just, if they're totally insane, if they're deranged, kill them. Just put them to death. We'll be doing society a favor. Which is wild because they didn't want to keep him in jail over there. Yeah. Okay, guys, what about this one? The ghost of a dead woman named her murderer. A Chicago respiratory therapist was murdered in her residence in 1977. Teresa Baza was discovered with a butcher knife buried in her chest under a blazing mattress. Police tried to locate her stolen jewelry, but were not successful, nor could they manage to connect any of the suspects to the crime. It appeared hard to discover the offender until Remy Chua, a co-worker who hardly knew the victim, became an unexpected source of information. Chua began to have images and dreams about Baza regularly. It all started in her workplace locker room, where she saw a man's face behind Baza. This would happen again and again in her dreams. Chua then began communicating with her husband while channeling Baza's spirit. Chua told her husband and the entire story of Baza's murder while channeling Baza's spirit. She alleged that the elderly person at the hospital called Alan Showery molested her while assisting Baza with her television. He then murdered her and set her on fire while buried in the mattress. Showery's common-law wife received her jewelry, and his spirit was able to provide specifics about what happened to it. Mr. Chua persuaded his wife to share this information with the police. The police were initially doubtful, but after seeing Baza's jewelry and Showery's wife, which Baza's cousin was able to confirm precisely as the spirit claimed she could, the guy was found guilty and sentenced to 14 years in prison. Unfortunately, the evidence was insignificant to convict him any longer. Was it, however, Baza's ghost that identified her assailant? Maybe Chua knew something about the case and hid it behind the geist of a spirit controlling her. What brought authorities to the murderer is still a mystery. And this is why you naysayers need to believe in ghosts. Because your ghost could go solve your murder. Miss Hippie's gotta go. Sorry, dig it, man. Too much love. Get it, homie. Miss Hippie, you have a great night. If you have a stroke, that might be the thing that makes you go viral. Oh, man. Pups is such a bad influence on me. They're like, yo, you should have a stroke on camera. Make sure you capture it on camera, Mantis. Like when Mantis's eyes roll back in his head and he starts like convulsing and drooling on himself, that will make everybody tune in. Yo, I believe it was a ghost lady. I believe a ghost lady helped that woman. And when people say they don't believe in ghosts, or ghosts are bull, nah, man, there's your proof right there. Okay, guys, what about this case? Oh, this is going to be fun. I like the title of it. The woman who cooked her husband. Catherine Knight, an Australian woman, stabbed her husband, John Price, to death 37 times in the year 2000. Knight then skinned him, decapitated his head, and cooked up parts of his body. She set her dining room table for two and served the cooked meat with baked potatoes with side vegetables. She placed handwritten notes next to each table setting with the names of Price's children on them. She was attempting to serve them their father for dinner. When police finally arrived at the house, they found Knight in a comatose state with pills spilled out on the floor. They also found Price's head boiling in a pot of soup on the stove. Knight was the first woman to be sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. She is currently serving her sentence in Silverwater Correctional Complex in New South Wales, Australia. Bob said we're gonna be rich. I'm gonna be called the stroked out mantis. He needs to watch his blood pressure, Mantis. I gotta go for what I don't like about that last story is they didn't tell us the details as to why she did that, but I have a feeling she had a good reason. You know, no one had. No, you have to have a good reason to chop up your husband and then cook him, right? My mom's my mom's mom fed her and her siblings their pet ducks, and then on another occasion their pet pig. So remember that was a different time, public. Public, do you watch the show on Netflix called Master of None? There's a podcast about that story. Yo, please send that podcast. I would love to hear about it. I'm getting educated right now, all through the power of Satan. Mukbang edition. Yeah, no, what was I just talking about? Yo, public or Sea Witch or anyone out there, do you guys watch the show Master of None on Netflix? Oh, please send me the Jungo one, because it was hard reading it. I was reading the Wikipedia page, and it was just too intense for me. I guess Satan's pretty cool, huh, guys? Yeah, I mean, if you're into all this blood and guts kind of stuff, you know. The Master of None is a comedy about that Indian comic and his best friend who's Chinese. There's an episode called Parents, and it's about how the kids, the younger guys, like totally take for granted how free they are in America, and they don't even fathom how hard it was for their parents growing up. And so, he like one of them, he has a memory of like his parents, the Indian guy, his parents get him a computer and he complains about the computer. And then later on, years later, when he's adult, his parents want help with the computer and he refuses to help them because he's like, I'm not your personal IT support. And then they show like a flashback of the dad. And when the dad was like a little kid in India, he's playing with an abacus. And he says, when I grow up, I want to be a scientist. And his father takes the abacus away. And he's like, no, you will work in the store. That is what you're here for. And he like wouldn't let him. And the Chinese kid, he's complaining about his parents cooking. And then they have a flashback of his parents and his dad when he was a little kid. The exact same thing happened to Pubs. He had like a pet chicken or something. And they didn't have any food, so they had to eat it. And you just see how ingrateful the Americanized kids are. That they have no idea how rough it was for these families in the other countries. So I kind of feel for your mom, you know. I understand what your grandma did. See, which I love true crime too, and I've always wanted to do true crime. But as you know, my sister does true crime. Or she did when she was on Spoon, so I never did true crime streams. Just to like be respectful of that. And I kind of want to kind of get into it, you know what I mean? Yeah, my grandma did that because they were so poor and in other countries, pets aren't pets. They're the animals you live amongst are there to eat eventually. Right? That's why we judge people like other countries that eat dogs or eat cats or whatever. But like, I mean, that started as a survival thing, right? They're not doing it because they're evil. Yo, instead of doing horror stuff, should I start doing like a weekend true crime stream? Should it be true crime mukbang? I don't know why mukbang is a thing. It really is gross. It's really disgusting. I feel ashamed of myself for doing this to you guys, but you sat through it, so who's more foolish? The fool or the one who follows him? No mukbang, just true crime. I am agreeing with that. I'm gonna lay off the mukbang for a little while. Whispering is fun. It's actually I take it as a form of discipline because I'm a really loud talker. Like I talk like I'm always the loudest person in a public place. It's disgusting. So it's kind of like a fun. It's actually hard for me to whisper. So I'm putting a lot of energy into this stream. I enjoy your hiccups and your burps, though. Yo, who was that chick on Spoon who was like sexually turned on by hiccups? Oh, it was JR. JR had a thing for burps, like not hiccups, like burps. She had like some sort of kink about burps. It was gross. But thank you, Sea Witch. I will try to burp more often into the mic. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't even enjoy mukbangs either, but I will occasionally do them just for comedy's sake, But maybe I should start doing some true crime stuff, right? But I'm gonna try to do a true crime thing with a twist to it. It's gonna be like, I don't know, maybe I'll dress up like a clown and do true crime. And I'll play circus music in the background. And I'll laugh like through the whole thing. Yeah, I know you'd love this. You said appropriate music. Clowns, everyone's scared of a clown. Oh, public. I'm scary when I want to be. Yeah. Yeah, clown laughs are the worst. That wasn't a clown laugh. That first laugh I did was definitely a clown laugh. But that's what it is. Streaming is not an exact science. You gotta work it. It's going to the drawing board. It's doing all sorts of stuff like that. Public is scared of the laughter. Oh, I know how to get public now. If I'm ever ready to scare public, I know what's gonna set them off. But guys, I am out of food and I'm stuffed. But so that this is concluding my mukbang stream, my ASMR Satanic mukbang. Thank you so much for attending. I've had so much fun. This was amazing. I actually got relatively decent numbers at a certain point of this stream, so I guess people can't hate it that much. A fart bang. A fart bang. But can people actually fart on command? Is that actually a thing? Yeah, absolutely. But, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And remember to keep tuning into Voice of the Fat Mantis for more satanic mukbangs, ASMRs, more reviews, true crime on the way, reviews, nerd shit, and all the news that's fit to print. You all have a beautiful and lovely night. Of course, later on tonight, we have, I believe, at 9:30, I believe, Hold Up TV and DaVinci are doing. I guess we can agree on that tonight. So check that out. And this week's going to be a lot of fun on this channel. I promise you that. But guys, thanks for stopping in. Until next time, ciao for motherfucking now. 再见。